What is up, my gamers? It is VG Infection here, and today I'm going to bring you guys a quick little video on Age of Empires 2, specifically the console edition for all my console players out there and controller players out there. It just dropped today, and I noticed a lot of people in the games that I've been playing specifically just been struggling with like how to start out and things like that. So I just wanted to show you guys kind of how I start out in the first 5, 6, 7, 10 minutes of playing. Teach you guys what I've learned so far, and maybe that knowledge can be useful for you guys when you're playing, and I hope it helps you guys out. And I'm not saying that this is the correct way or the best way to, start playing or anything like that, but I think the knowledge will definitely be beneficial for those of you who are just starting out on this game and just, picking up the reins and learning how this game plays and things like that. But yeah, I don't want to waste any more time, guys. Let's get the ball rolling on today's video here for you. Alrighty guys, so the very first thing that you want to do when you spawn in here is you want to push down the right stick on your controller, and you want to go, there's going to be this economic scroll wheel here that basically divvies up your villagers for you. I always start with the food and wood right off the start, because that's basically the two resources you're going to need right off the start until you get into the feudal age when you age up. Now obviously this isn't true of all builds and things like that, but for the most part, guys, you're just going to want to cycle that. It'll get your villagers on food, get your villagers on wood, and get them going. Right. Secondly, guys, you're going to want to press A on your TC and queue up as many villagers as you can, because you got to keep a constant stream of villagers coming out. Now, as you guys can see, I'm at 4 out of 5 population right now. So what you're going to want to do as well is take this guy off your wood real quick and just have him build a house. That way, you don't get slot cap like I did right there, and you don't waste time having villagers just stuck in the queue and not actually being made. It's really important you keep a constant flow of villagers coming out because your economy is your lifeline to your civilization, and you just want to constantly keep a strong economy building. Secondly, guys, you're going to spawn in and there's going to be goats here. Depending on the map, it could be different animals. They're just herdable animals around the map. If you hold right on the D-pad, it will select all these, and you can pull them in close to the TC, so that way when they're harvesting them, they don't have to walk very far. It's just a little bit more efficient on the food. And another thing I wanted to mention too, guys, is as you can see, they're going to these berry bushes, and it's a little bit of a walk. That's really not efficient at all. So what you want to do is click on the villager and then build a mill right next to those berry bushes, and this way they can just drop the food off right there at that mill, and it's a lot more efficient, and you'll get a lot more food a lot quicker that way. Next, guys, is your scout. Scouting is really important in the early game because it lets you figure out what resources are around you, the layout of the land, and also when it comes time to scouting your enemies, you're going to know what their position is, kind of how they're building right off the start, and that's just all really useful knowledge. Now, you can click the scout, you can click A on them, and then click where you want to move, or you can press right bumper, and it will pull up a bigger version of the minimap, and if you hold left trigger and press A, you can set a path for him to follow, so that way you don't have to sit there and micro him the whole time, and he can scout out this path for you, and you don't even got to worry about him. That way you can stay back at this TC and make sure you're keeping constant villager production. You're also going to want to make sure you watch your population capacity. So I'm at 8 out of 10, so I'm going to make sure I get another house built up here real quick. And I'm wanting to come back to the scroll reel real quick too, guys. So obviously I'm starting with food and wood just because to age up at the TC. So if you press A on the TC and right trigger, you can see at the bottom here for feudal age, it requires 2 dark age buildings. So you need a mill and a lumber camp. That's not going to be hard, guys, because once they're done on these straggler trees here, you're going to go to the lumber camp here, and you're just going to set this up along the wood line. And that way they can start harvesting the wood line right here rather than walking all the way back and forth to these straggler trees. But on the scroll wheel here, when you age up, you aren't going to want to only have food and wood. You're going to need gold and stone and things like that, depending on your build and the style of play that you're going for. So if you click A on like basic, for example, it will divvy them up now a little bit differently. So now I got 2 on wood, 4 on food, 2 on gold, and 1 on stone. Now, it's important to note here, guys, when you press that, they don't know to build a mining camp. So you need to make sure I can't build it right now because I don't have enough wood, but you'd want to press A on this, on mining camp, and build a mining camp right here. And likewise with the stone, you'd want to press on this vill and build a mining camp right there so they could drop that stone and gold off right there and it'd be a lot more efficient. That's just something to note, because anytime you change this, they will automatically go and seek those resources based on how it's going to divvy them up, and they will not know to build the drop-off sites depending on what resource they go for. But I'm going to switch it back to just food and wood, like I said, guys, because before you get to your first age, that's pretty much all you're going to want to keep it on, because you want to get that wood and that meat as fast as you can. Wood so you can build structures and things like this mill, houses, and stuff like that. And then food, because food is the only thing you need. You only need 500 of it to get to the feudal age. Like I said, you guys want to keep a constant stream of villagers. Try and never let that go idle. Try and always keep villagers pumping out. You can obviously cancel some of them out. If you press B on it, it will cancel what you just did. That way you can get your food up and get closer to being able to age up. But you always want to at least keep one guy being created at a time. I typically go around 2 or 3. That way I can go do other things and it'll keep making villagers and I can just keep coming back for it. Another thing to note, it's really important too, you're going to want to utilize this a lot, guys, is your D-pad. So if you push up on the D-pad, it'll go straight to any villager and it'll just cycle through all your villagers. And if there is an idle villager, it will do them first. But I don't have any idle villagers, like I said, because I got that going. Left on the D-pad will go to your military, and in the early game that's always going to be your scout, so it's really nice. You can just jump right to your scout, especially if they're on the other end of the map. You can just jump to your scout really fast, and if they're all the way over here, you can just push back up on the D-pad and jump right back over to your villagers. If you push down on the D-pad, it goes straight to the town center. And like I said earlier, guys, if you push right on the D-pad, any sheep or goat or any herdable animals that your scout has got for you out in the world, if you hold right on it, it will select all of them, and you just press A. And now all those gathered herdable animals will just go right to your TC, so that way when your villagers come out and they go to food, they'll be able to just go straight to them right there in the middle of the TC, and it'll be really efficient that way. And like I said, guys, you can see how it says 15 out of 15 pop cap. You just want to always make sure you keep an eye on that, and don't let that be like that for very long, because you got to keep constant villagers coming out. Otherwise, you'll fall behind really fast in this game. But basically, I don't want to drag this video out for you guys. I just wanted to do a really brief, basic introduction on how to start in this game. I'll probably do more tutorials and things like that to break down more of the gameplay as we get farther along in the games. But for this video, guys, I just really want to quickly go over those basic essentials to starting the max off for you guys, and just explain that knowledge to you that I've picked up from just playing the few games that I have. And I hope that the knowledge helps you guys out in your games. If you guys enjoyed that video, do be sure to leave a like, comment, subscribe. It helps me out a ton, guys. But yeah, I'm going to end the video there, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.